Hey guys, welcome to Amy Cat's Colors. In this video, I'm going to be doing the October completed pages, and I'm very satisfied with what I was able to accomplish for the month, despite it being one of the busiest months of the year for me. We actually just got back. Well, not just, but last weekend. And I'm filming this Saturday. But my daughter, my mother-in-law, and my brother-in-law's wife flew down to New Orleans for Taylor Swift and attended night 3 in Louisiana, and it was an amazing, incredible experience. Just words can't describe. It's not even just the concert. It's the whole vibe and the city and and being in New Orleans, I hadn't been down to New Orleans, in a really long time. I want to say it's been like 18 years. But I've been a couple times before. And I love it. It's sort of city rich in culture, food, music. And I was very excited to get tickets to that one over a year ago when that verified sale went on. So anyway, we had that trip, and so that was a couple days. Things have been extremely busy at work, to say the least. Unusually busy. We've had a lot going on. And then, of course, Halloween and then a couple other things too kept me busy. I'm going to show you. Oh, here's what's left of the 13 temporary tattoo from the show. A nice young lady that we rode the electric cable car back from brunch to Bourbon Street. Had ordered a pack of these on Amazon. It was like tons of them when you order that. So she was just giving them out to people who needed them. So all 4 of us got one, and number 13 is incidentally one of our favorite numbers as well, because it's my son's number on his travel baseball team. And my daughter is going to be turning 13 in a couple months, and on her birthday. And I actually, since we came back, purchased some more 13 tattoos for those reasons. So the other thing that happened recently that's been eating up my time in the month of October is that Super Mario Party Jamboree came out a couple weeks ago, and been busy playing this in our free time. And then at the end of September, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom came out. So I haven't beaten this yet. But I'm actually going to play it tonight, I think. But it's a lot of fun. It's just really cute. I've been enjoying it. And again, this has been another time suck for me this month. And then I read a book, and it was a really good book. So that's why I'm going to mention it. Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. And this was a book of the month. I am I guess book of the month member, and this is not sponsored in any way, but as a member you can choose one of 5 or one of 6 books to receive in the mail every month. And now they're also doing audio. You can also skip any month that you'd like, and I tend to do that quite a bit because I have a lot of books on my shelves that I still haven't read. So this is probably only one of a couple books I've even gotten this whole year. But I've been a member for a little while, for a few years now. I really loved this book. It gave off all the spooky vibes. It is a romantasy, a gothic romantasy that does take place in New Orleans, which I didn't know that before I started it, but I was like, I picked it to read in October anyway, because I'm sure it'll be on theme for me. But it does involve, the supernatural and necromancer, some devils and ghosts and phantoms and the like. So, and it's pretty spicy. And there is another book out now. And I don't remember the name of it, but I'm sure you could look it up. It's a chunker. I think it was like 500 pages, but a quick read, but very good. So I had that going on in October as well. So, and we still have fall ball. Tomorrow is actually wrapping up the end of the fall season for baseball. So yeah, we've been pretty busy, and I do love this time of year, but I had a lot I wanted to color. If you haven't checked out my other videos, please, number one, do that, like and subscribe. And I know I'm saying that early on before I've even shown you anything, but you will know that I'm pretty early into the coloring community, despite me having colored my entire life, and I've been adult coloring for a while, but I'm still kind of like an amateur if we're talking about skill or technique. I'm really here for the fun of it, and for the mental health aspects of it are really good for me, and I would say that's aligned with any of my other hobbies as well. Same thing, I like to clear my mind, doing puzzles, diamond art, Lego, what have you. But I didn't have any Halloween. I love Halloween. It's like my favorite holiday. I also love Christmas, so they're tied. But I didn't have any books until this year, and so I bought quite a few, and I colored in most of them. But I'm really pleased with what I got done. So enough chit chat. I'm gonna just dive into it. I'm gonna show you my pages that I've completed first, and then I will show you the one whip that I have. And I didn't buy much in the month of October, but I will show you what I got. Okay. So first things first, I did mention this in my October plans video, but I had a buddy color that I completed in R.J. Hampson's Serendipity, and that was with Coloring Bumblebee here on YouTube and also on Instagram. And we completed this page, which is Wild is the Music. And I don't know how it'll show up on camera, but there is a lot of glitter here. It's a Wink of Stella, black Wink of Stella, and then also a, I think clear, or yeah, Wink of Stella, and then some glitter gel pen, like Stardust. I really love how this turned out. I used not any specific color palette, but I went with autumn, an autumn theme, and I don't know what kind of birds these actually are, but I was kind of making them look like robins. So, and I will pop up on the screen Coloring Bumblebee's completed page. Also very lovely. Just love how it turned out. Thank you, Coloring Bumblebee, for doing this buddy color with me. I had a lot of fun, and I don't do a whole lot of buddy colors, but I appreciate them because they really do help motivate me to get things done. And I think I got the idea from a video she had posted about untouched books. Excuse me. And this was an untouched book for her. I had only colored one in here previously. I'll actually just go ahead and show it. It was earlier this year. Back in February, I did this one for Year of the Dragon. So I bought this at the beginning of the year and didn't have a ton of books at the time, but I only did that one. I love his work. This is the only book that I have by R.J. Hampson so far. I want many more, but I also want to color in my books. So working on it. So that first one was in Serendipity. Okay. And these are in no particular order. They are not in order that I completed them. The next one that I did was in 50 Halloween Miniatures, and I really wish that I could have done more in here because I love these books and they're such a delight to complete, and they're pretty quick to do. But alas, I only did one. And it was this one with the kitty holding the ghosty balloons. And I did this for hashtag CWC October 24, which was hosted by Coloring with Kate on Instagram. So she had posted this specific page to complete for the month of October. Okay. And again, I think what I'll do is share all the supplies that I use most commonly up on the screen. And if there are any exceptions to that, I'll just kind of go over them as they go, because otherwise I'm going to be repeating myself a lot because I usually use the same types of supplies. Okay. That's 50 Halloween miniatures. Same thing. I'm really sad to say that I only colored one in Matchstick Mouse, a Halloween coloring book by Morgan O'Brien, because this one's adorable and easy to do. And as I think I've mentioned before, all of the pages that I do in here, I feel like turn out so great because of his artwork. I mean, and they go by really quick. So this was a buddy color with Candace at Happy Catastrophe here on YouTube and also on Instagram. And I'm trying to think how this one came about. I think she had mentioned if there was anybody who wanted to color in it, because she was going to be coloring in it at least once, if not a ton, since it is specific to Halloween. And so we chose this picture, and I will put her lovely page, and I also really like her color palette up on the screen. So thank you, Candace, for doing this buddy color with me. Had a lot of fun, and I think our pictures turned out really great. I'm gonna hopefully color more in this sometime soon. I think it's really, really cute. I do think my daughter colored in it though, so that should count for something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she did one in here. All right, getting into the comfy cozy. I did 2 in Spooky Cutie from Coco Wayo. Wayo. I say it wrong every time I do a video, and I'm like, I sound really crazy. Coco Wayo. We have this one here of the spooky lava lamp and flowers, and I went with all pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month for October. And inside the lava lamp, I did go again with the shimmery Wink of Stella. I keep saying clear because it's not really a silver. It doesn't really give a color. It's just sparkles, So I really liked how that turned out. And then the second one in this book is of this little fox trick-or-treating with his bucket, or his jack-o'-lantern full of candy. And this was, I completed for the Halloween challenge prompt number 1 for candy and chocolate. This is a Facebook group called Cute, Comfy, and Cozy Coloring. And it is hosted by Zoe's Cozy Coloring and Colorful Dreamer 82 on Facebook. So they were hosting an event every week, and there was a prompt every week that was different for Halloween, and they're going to continue to do that, you know, throughout the year of just different things. And they have albums for all the books, and then they both do videos for that week, whatever is chosen, to just give you ideas or where to find some pictures to cover that week. So I really liked how it turned out. I, was trying to play around with the light source here and do something with that a little bit. I liked how that turned out. These are, for me, like really comforting to do. And yeah, could I do more with patterns and shading and whatnot? I could. Did a little shading here. But I enjoy the process, and it's really comforting for me. So I was okay with leaving it as is and not, doing a whole lot more. But that's just me. So that's Spooky Cutie. All right, in Spooky Corner, I got to almost the end of the month, right before the Taylor Swift trip, when I was like, oh man, I can't believe I hadn't colored in this yet. And it was a last minute decision because the flight to New Orleans is not really that long, whether it's direct or then on the way back we had a layover, or a connection. It was not a layover. We walked quickly and ran to our connection that, we almost missed. But I decided at the last minute to take this in 1/48 set of my Ohuhu alcohol markers. And this is just the right size. I didn't check a bag. I just had the two carry-ons or whatever, the small roller suitcase and a bag. And this worked perfectly for the little tray table sitting in front of you. My daughter kind of let me use hers as well because I put this on her tray table and then had this on mine to color. But I'm glad that I did because otherwise I don't know if I would have finished any in this book. And the other thing about it is I get really bad flight anxiety. I had a bad experience flying many years ago now at this point, and ever since then I've just kind of been terrified of flying. So this actually, my normal go-to is to play Candy Crush or something like that the entire time. And I also want to listen to music or something. This worked for me, and I also listened to some different things on Audible that I had downloaded to my phone. So, because this, like I said, I think this is really good. It works for me with being able to tune things out and focus and just relax and enjoy the process. Something about, doing the alcohol markers. So, I was really happy with this. So anyway, this is one that I did. This was on the flight back of the witch kitty sitting in front of the fire. And then this is the one that I did on the way down. And I chose this one because of the heart glasses reminded me of the Swifties and of Taylor Swift in her video. I want to say it's 22. I could be wrong. But the video where that made that famous, the red heart glasses. And the skeleton here is wearing them. And then even on the tombstone over here for this one was wearing them. So I was like, oh, this actually kind of seems perfect. So yeah, I did do a little tiny bit of colored pencil shading after we got back. But very little, and I don't think I didn't do any on this one. I did do some highlighting with the Posca pen, but the pages in here are so cute, and this was really, really fun to do. All right. I did one in witches, and again, I would have loved to have done more, and I didn't, but that's okay. It'll be just more I can do throughout the year, because it doesn't have to be Halloween for me to color Halloween. And then I'll have more to color for next year. But this one is by Yusiku, and this is the first book in this series, Witches. And the one that I did is this one here of the two ladies sitting down at an afternoon. Oh no, not afternoon, a midnight tea. I wanted to say afternoon tea, right? But this is a bewitching tea with the ghost kitties, and I used the color palette from Amanda Colors, and this is the hashtag AC Palette Challenge for the month of October. And it also counted towards the hashtag Good Witches Coloring that's hosted by Sabrina in Colors. I think I also picked this one to satisfy the Color Your Hoard from T's World of Coloring and Lavella Colors. But that's really true for I think most all these books that I'm sharing with you, is that they were new books that had been untouched. But yeah, I did. The background was not black. I used a acrylic paint pen, the one from Arteza, the acrylic marker. This is also really satisfying, and you'll see it again in one of the other pages that I did. So I drew the clouds. I used a stencil and I kind of moved it around a little bit, like rotated to make little clouds. I really love how that turned out. I'm really proud of myself on that one. All right, then we have the project book that I'm doing with my daughter, Catherine. And for October, we completed this page that she picked out for us. There's actually, I think, another page in this book that is a Halloween page, but she selected this one. The thing that is different on this page is that I use the Hobby Lobby metallic watercolor back here. And the reason being is because I goofed up the alcohol marker. You could see like the bleed line or whatever. There's no reason why I shouldn't have been able to accomplish this one, because there's enough spaces and things to kind of move quickly before it dries out. I should have been able to do it. I didn't mess up any of it until I started here and then got to here messed up. And I think it's just because at this point I was kind of like slowing down and getting tired. And I remember being tired. So I think that's what did it. And I was not happy with it, being able to see it. And then I went over it again and then you could still see it. So I was like, let me do this metallic watercolor. And actually, I don't know that you can really tell anymore. I couldn't tell even after I did the watercolor. I was like, where was it? Because now you can see just some of the differences in the watercolor, and that's just fine. The cauldron you can see a little bit. This is not bleed lines though. This is just like some areas where it was thick and thin, but it doesn't bother me as much. So, all right. So this was Tiny Cats from Coco Wayo, and Catherine's page I will share with you too. It's right here. So she did hers really quickly, and I want to say she did it at the very beginning of the month, like October 1st or something. Yes, it was October 1st. So moving on. I do feel like if you take a look at what I colored this month, a lot of it was on the simple side, but you know, you do what works for you and on your time and your schedule and your skill level. I just was reflecting on it earlier that it seemed like, oh, but what I colored a lot, but what I colored wasn't really all that detailed or complex, so it kind of makes sense that I colored a little bit more. But anyway, but this one, however, requires a little more, right? Hannah Carlson, Tales from the Witch's Cottage. I bought this book actually earlier in the year, was knowing that when we got to the fall and towards Halloween that I would be coloring in it. Again, I was only able to do one so far, and it was this one here of the potion and the beetles. And let me tell you about this one. So this was for the hashtag Kate's Witch's Cottage Along, hosted by Kate's Coloring Haven, and she is on YouTube and on Instagram. And Kate started this color along she's gonna do a full book color along, and she's got the videos up for this page, and then they also did the wand, which I didn't get to, but I hope to get some more work done in this book. I really enjoyed it. Again with the black, and she did this as well. It was not black. I colored that in with this Arteza acrylic marker, and it was extremely satisfying. It's very, what's the word? I had it in my head earlier. Not that it's detailed, but I forget what I was going to say. But it can be kind of tough. I know that could be annoying for some people, having to go into all the little nooks and crannies and the small spaces, but I really enjoyed doing it. It did take a while. I love how this turned out. There was also, and I forgot to write it down, oh, shoot. And I'm filming with my phone, so I can't look it up, but this was also a restricted color palette that it's like a bewitching color palette that was being hosted on Instagram by a couple folks. And when I go and edit the video, I will add it to the screen so you can see what that was here. But I wanted to participate in another color palette for the month. I really enjoyed doing this page, and the shading and the metallic gel pen and whatnot. I think it turned out great. Could I have done more with the background here? Yes, I could. Did I want to? No, I did not. So I think it looks great the way it is. And I love coloring in this book. So that's Tales from the Witch's Cottage. All right, now we're going to get into my color by number. So at the beginning of the month, I completed a couple in Satin Sachdeva's Stained Glass Halloween color by number. And I think I had really colored these in late September and then just put the finishing touches at the first of the month. So like the highlight and the shading. So I did this one. And I did this one of the cauldron. And I really like doing these. They're so much fun. I did add a little glossy accents here. I messed it up again. I keep messing them up. I'm tired rushing through it. But on the bubbles. And I did add a little bit of shading, but I really enjoy doing these. I forgot to mention, it wasn't these pages, but this was one of them. And the other one was the tiny cats. I cheated a little, guys. I cheated a little on this. So I had finished probably 99% of the page in these two books. And I apologize for the glare. I was trying to film this earlier today with the good daylight coming through, but there was a lot of leaf blowing and lawns being mowed, and it was very loud outside. Even right now we've got our dryer running, and I'm like, hope that's not too loud in the background, but it was really loud earlier, so I decided not to film. But I was 98, 99% of the way done on the pages in these two books, and I just needed to do the finishing touches. Like for this one, when I mentioned the watercolor, that was one of them. And on this one, it was just a little more gel pen. But I don't flip to it again. But anyway, I cheated because I'm saying that they were done in October because they pretty much were. And if I had shared them with you, you may not have even noticed that they weren't. But I did finish those up just at the first of the month of, in November. But I'm claiming them as October. So just deal with it. That's what I'm doing. Decision has been made. All right, we're getting towards the end. So this is the most I did in one book. I did 3 in Alexander Francis's Spooky Houses. These 2 were not new books this year. I think I've already talked about that. But I really enjoyed doing these. And the 3 that I did were the color by number part. So I started with the first one, the first in the book with this house. And I did do a little bit of shading. I don't think I'm zoomed out enough. God, I hope the whole video isn't jacked. Oh, that looks okay. All right. And then this one, I called it. I'm counting it as October because I did finish it. I don't know exactly when I finished it. I think my intention was to come back, do a little highlighting, do a little shading, but I think it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I like it. It's good the way it is. I'm done now, so I'm calling it. So I didn't do anything else extra on this one, but I was so excited to color this one. I love this whole thing with the Halloween themed bedroom. Thought it was so cute. Oh, good. Look there, the dryer finally stopped at the end of my video. Um, and then I did this one, and I started this one at the ballpark, you know, watching baseball, and I forgot the blotter sheet, or whatever you want to call it, a protective sheet. I didn't have anything with me. So that's why I chose this one, because it came before this page, and I was like, well, I guess if it bleeds through, it'll be okay. So yeah, that's why I did this one. But I mean, I like this one. I think it's fun. So yeah, I really enjoyed coloring in that book. And then not last, just kidding. 2 more. I've colored a lot in this book. If you've watched my other videos, you will have seen I talked about this book and how much I've enjoyed it. There were 2 pages in this book from Little Witches, which is a stained glass color by number. And I did this one, and my daughter did the other one. That's Halloween. This one actually took a lot longer than you would think for some reason. I just remember being like, why has this taken so long? But anyway, I really liked how it turned out. It was fun to do. And then last, but not least, is the Cupcake Sweet Treats Color by Number Pocket book from Sachin Sachdeva. And I did the Halloween page. And this was a really quick one. I don't like all the way the colors turned out, or some of the colors that I selected. This was mainly colored, almost like probably 75% at the ball field as well, and it was dark. So I was only going with some like artificial lighting from the fields, but I don't know, and that's not my excuse by any means, but the pink, I think, is what bothered me the most. I was like, that doesn't actually look very pink, but everything else looks okay. So I really liked that. So those are all my completed pages. And then let me, hold on just a second. Okay. And then the whip, I did find someone to buddy with in Color Me Halloween. This was actually the first Halloween book I think I purchased, aside from the Tales from the Witch's Cottage earlier. And I started this page of the trick-or-treaters, and I used alcohol markers because I had not done that in one of these from Cider Mill Press before, one of these Color Me books. I own another one. I own the Valentine's one, like the Color Me Love, and I've only ever done colored pencils in that one, and I've colored like 2 or 3 pages in that book. But I was like, let me try the alcohol markers. They soak up the alcohol marker. Like, even this is a really thin line art. They don't bleed very much at all. Like, I don't think I had it bleed at all, which was insane to me because I really thought that was going to be a problem. The problem is it's going to eat up a lot of your marker. But I thought just for the foreground of the trick-or-treaters that I would at least do alcohol marker, and I may do colored pencil for the rest. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. But I really like this book. I posted on Instagram, hey, someone have this book, want to color with me, so I can like at least get started and find some inspiration. And I do have a buddy, Brittany, from Coloring Through It, and she also did not get it done by the end of October, but that is okay. And I will be getting to that hopefully in the month of November. I will get this one done. So that's my one whip. And then special mentions. It's not an honorable mention. I'm really kind of sad about it, but I did not get to A Million Little Monsters from Lulu Mayo. It's the one Halloween-ish book that I sadly did not get to. I did wait till last on purpose because I just adore her artwork, and I really wanted it to turn out really, really well. And I've seen so many pages that you all have colored online, and on Instagram. And I'm still going to color in it. No worries about that. I love her artwork though. But yeah, I really want to put some good time and attention into whatever I decide to color in here. And they're not all Halloween per se. You can definitely color them whenever. It's just that there's at least one element that would give you spooky vibes on all of them, just because it's like monsters or ghosts or something like that. There are a lot of jack-o'-lanterns and pumpkins in here too. But yeah, thumbs down. I wasn't able to get to this one. Sorry. So I'm pretty positive I only purchased one book this month. I was doing very good because I had hauled a lot in September for my birthday, and I had bought a lot of Halloween books leading up to October to prepare for Halloween. So the book that I purchased, and this was later in October, was this one from Fabiana Attanasio, Mythagoria Haunted Hearts, a cursed romance coloring book. So I have not colored in it yet. Well, let me tell you, I am not really a big fan of horror movies. I will read it though. But this book, you guys convinced me. You showed me the way. And then when I watched flips, but then I also saw it in the store, there's just something about it that's a little more open for me. There's something beautiful about it, even though it's still like see, even though there's still some like kind of goriness, some creepiness, there's still something beautiful about it to me, and I really like this. To me, it swings more gothic. Maybe? Is that the right thing to say? Like, look at this one. Love it. So I am not making any promises, but I may color in this in November. After I went through it again, because there are some ones in here that I'm like, I don't like them as much, and I may do this in February too, for like Valentine's, because I think that'll make sense. But anyway, when I went through it again, I did feel like definitely I think exactly half of the pages in here I would definitely color. And that's usually my rule for purchasing a book is, will I color half of them? Because if I color half of them, I will probably never even achieve coloring half of a book. I hope maybe some books I will, but that's a lot, right? Especially for those of us who've like worked up quite a collection. But yeah, that was one thing. The one thing that didn't feel good for me this month was that, as I said, I wanted to color more pages in some of the books that I have, and I really just wasn't able to do that because I was also trying to color in all of them, which I almost did. And yay for me, I in total colored 17 pages. That is a lot for me. 7 of them were color by number, 1 whip, 7 untouched books, 8 if you count the one that was the whip. So that's a lot. I'm getting to a point where I'm collecting more books that I really want to color in than I have time to color in. And that makes me sad. I don't like that feeling because I feel like I have really good books that really need to be colored in, and I'm not having time to get to them. So pretty proud of myself for only getting this one purchase this month. So yay for that. The other thing that I bought that's coloring related, I didn't have any supplies, but we went to like a local craft store. It's not really a craft store. It's got furniture and arts and crafts and jewelry and different, this is random, I know, but I think it's different vendors that have little booths. It's called Lazy Daisy, and they had these Nightmare Before Christmas sticky note tabs, and I got really excited and grabbed them right away. You've seen them. They marked all my pages this month. And I like these because you can write, Like I wrote about the hashtags and the buddy colors and stuff on them. So it was really, we love The Nightmare Before Christmas. My daughter and I love The Nightmare Before Christmas. So I was really excited to find this. Before I got them, I think I have one book that had the Harry Potter, like I had started the month with Harry Potter tabs, but anyway. So that's it. That's all I got. And those are all my completed pages. I told you my stats. Thanks for joining me. Up next, I'm going to be filming my loose coloring plans for the month of November. And I'm going to try to make it a little bit easier on myself this time and just go with a few things that I'm going to prioritize and then kind of leave everything else up to whatever I feel like coloring. So thanks for joining me. I hope that you had a fantastic Halloween if you celebrate Halloween, and great October. Happy coloring, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.